A few months back, John Fuhnaff interviewed J-Top of Solveable Studios, and one of the questions that he asked was, do you think that we will have answers to everything one day? And J-Top said, no. That's kind of the whole point.
Do you think that every question in Security Breach will have an answer one day? Or do you think there will be like mysteries forever? Like that
I think there will be mysteries forever.
Wow.
And it really got me thinking about FNAF's lore compared to other properties. The point of FNAF's lore is not to get all of the pieces together and make one big picture. We're not gonna look back and be like, we got it, boys. We're done. Time to check out. The point, the fun, is to play with the pieces and see what fits together and what doesn't. The way I started to think about it was the difference between a puzzle and Legos. Not the ones that come in the pre-made pack where you just have all of the pieces to make a specific thing that would defeat the purpose, but the loose Legos. With a puzzle, all of the pieces fit together, and at the end, you make one big picture. But Lego have infinite possibilities. Even those pre-made sets I was just talking about have a whole community behind them who take those sets and reimagine them, taking all of the pieces and creating an entirely different finished product. The point, the fun, the core of Five Nights is to take all of those Lego pieces and see what you can build. There is no end goal. There is no full-sized picture. There is no finished script. You can have fun with it, but everyone's build is going to look different. Are there pieces that are going to exist across basically every theory? Yeah, absolutely. No one's going to be able to be like, oh, well, actually the killer is some other dude. I feel like we're pretty concrete in that it's William Afton, but how many kids did he kill? Was there one missing children's incident or two? Where did those killings take place? Did he use any of the animatronics to help, like he does in Battington's FNAF VHS series? What order did the kids go in? We have new information from Help Wanted 2, but we don't know if that's what it's telling us. We can assume, but we don't have a concrete answer. We aren't going to fully know. Even with the information from Help Wanted 2 and the voice lines in Ultimate Custom Night, Chica says,
I was the first. I have seen everything.
But a lot of us like to think that William killed Charlie first. So does that mean that Chica was the first animatronic created, and there are lingering memories from before sentience, like with Baby in the Silver Eyes trilogy? Or does she mean she was the first to be killed during the missing children's incident? Or was she the first animatronic that Henry made? We think that she was part of the Mediocre Melodies, and we have reason to assume she had her own restaurant. Does that mean she was literally the first? And that's just one voice line. Going back to John Fuhnaff, he recently did a theory about the Plush Trap Kid from FNAF 4. In this video, he takes a look at all of the little details that point to the Plush Trap Kid being way more important than we all first thought. I feel like this video is the perfect example of what I'm trying to get across in mine. We don't need to know all the answers. I don't think that's the point. I don't think Scott and Steel Wool will ever give us those answers. They are giving us Legos, not a puzzle. Each piece of information that they give us, let us build something that could look completely different than what someone else makes. The fun in that doesn't come from looking at your neighbor and knocking down their tower because you don't like it or think it wasn't built properly. It comes from turning to them, looking at what they built and talking about it. Why did they put a certain block here and not there? Why did they use these colors and not these ones? What's the reasoning behind using these two blocks and not these other two? It's about understanding the logic, about understanding how someone came to those conclusions, and learning the way that someone else thinks. One of the key features of Lego is that there is no wrong way to play with them. And I think that we can embrace that as the FNAF community. Even if one day, somehow, someone puts all of the pieces together and gets everything right, Scott and Steel Wool would never tell us that that person is right. That takes away the fun. That takes away the longevity and the reason that people are talking about the franchise. If there is one definitive answer and no more questions left to look into, would we even still be talking about FNAF? We may talk about it from a gameplay perspective, from how it revolutionized the indie horror game scene, how it invented mascot horror, but would we talk about the story once it's solved and finished? I don't think so. Part of what keeps people coming back game after game are those little nuggets of information. Those pieces that you can look back on and see how they could fit into one of those empty spots. Once there are no more holes, no more empty slots, we don't need to look back anymore. So next time you come across a FNAF theory that you don't like or don't understand, just take a second. Think about what clues, what pieces, what blocks that theorist decided to use and why. You don't want to be the kid that no one wants to play with now, do you? Alrighty, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.